So here's a totally fascinating quirk of human psychology. When a woman desires intimacy, she almost never just comes out and says it outright. Instead, it's like human biology and subconscious behavior team up to launch this silent, highly strategic campaign for closeness. She is literally speaking volumes. But the real question is, are you actually fluent in her hidden language? Okay, let's dive right into this, because this first number is honestly staggering. According to a study in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior, men miss over 60% of these signals in real time. Wait, 60%? Let's put that in perspective. That means more than half the time, a woman is basically broadcasting that she wants to get closer. The guy she's into is sitting there completely oblivious. He's probably, I don't know, wondering what he's going to have for dinner. But hey, by the end of this explainer, you definitely won't be in the dark anymore. First things first, we've got to draw a hard line in the sand between friendly behavior and intimate strategic courtship. Friendly stuff, smiling, asking about your day, laughing at a joke, that's just basic human decency, right? But intimate interest, that is operating on an entirely different frequency. Dr. Monica Moore, a psychologist over at Webster University, actually watched over 200 women in social settings. She cataloged 52, yes, 52, distinct courtship behaviors they use when they want closeness. And the crazy part is, most of these are so incredibly smooth that a person standing literally 3 feet away wouldn't even catch them. So consider this your secret decoder ring playbook for today. We're going to break down the hidden language, proximity and vulnerability, synchronization and isolation, future plans and vocal shifts, and finally, wrap it up with the power of patterns. All right, jumping into section 1, the hidden language, and we are looking specifically at strategic physical touch. You see, physical touch is often brilliantly engineered to look like a total accident, but her subconscious mind, it's already done the complex math before her hand even moves. To get why this happens, we just have to look at the science. Research from the Kinsey Institute shows that physical touch releases oxytocin. That's the bonding hormone, and it creates a feeling of trust and connection within literally seconds of contact. Women instinctively know this. They feel that biological shift. So she engineers strategic contact. Maybe she reaches over to fix a collar that was honestly already perfectly fine. Or her hand lingers on your forearm when she laughs. Or maybe her knee rests against yours under the table, and she deliberately doesn't pull it away. These aren't accidents, guys. These are invitations to see how you respond to her proximity. Now, here's where you've really got to pay attention. When she initiates that touch, a lot of guys tend to either freeze up or just completely ignore it. If she touches your arm and you don't acknowledge it, she instantly reads that as rejection. And let me tell you, women do not handle perceived rejection well in these super vulnerable moments. She will just shut down. So the absolutely crucial move here is to reciprocate naturally. If her knee is against yours, don't jerk away. Match the energy. Remember, this is an entire conversation happening strictly through skin. Moving right along to section 2, proximity and vulnerability. This is all about the sharing of hidden pieces. This is the phase where she starts handing you little pieces of herself that she usually keeps pretty safely locked away. We're talking personal stories, hidden fears, maybe some complex family dynamics, stuff she would definitely never post publicly online. And why does this matter? Well, psychologist Arthur Aaron ran this famous experiment at Stony Brook University. He used a series of 36 increasingly personal questions between complete strangers. The result? They formed incredibly deep emotional bonds, and some even fell in love. The big takeaway here is that vulnerability is literally the absolute fastest highway to intimacy. So when she shares a hidden fear, or tells you about a time she randomly cried in her car, she is testing that exact highway with you. When she does this, she is absolutely not just making small talk, she is building a bridge to her innermost world. I remember hearing this great anecdote about a brilliant but highly guarded college girl. She was the kind of person who could talk for 3 straight hours and reveal absolutely nothing personal about herself. But the second she started opening up to one specific guy about her parents' separation and how much it actually affected her, everyone else in the room knew exactly what was going on. She wasn't just sharing facts, she was choosing him. She was silently telling him, "I trust you." But here's the catch. To share those kinds of vulnerabilities, she needs the right environment. According to a University of Kansas study, it takes roughly 50 hours of interaction to become a casual friend and over 200 hours to become a close connection. When a woman is looking for intimacy, she actively tries to accelerate this timeline. And how does she pull that off? By manufacturing one-on-one situations with the precision of an absolute chess grandmaster. She'll quietly eliminate distractions, like groups of friends or coworkers, maybe by volunteering to stay late or just hanging back a bit so you two end up walking to the parking lot together. She expertly constructs this narrative of plausible deniability, making her highly deliberate effort look like a total effortless coincidence. Which brings us to category number 3, synchronization and isolation. We're talking about subconscious merging here. Once she's managed to isolate you, the whole dynamic shifts into something incredibly primal. Check this out. A 2016 study published in the journal PLOS ONE looked into this fascinating phenomenon called neural coupling. It's basically when two brains start operating on the exact same wavelength. Practically speaking, if you cross your arms, she crosses hers. If you change your speaking tempo, she subconsciously adjusts hers to match you. This isn't just imitation, it's her brain literally trying to merge her behavioral rhythm with yours. And the wildest part of the whole shebang, she almost never even knows she's doing it. It's this automatic response triggered by genuine attraction. So keep an eye out for those echoes. If she picks up her drink right after you take a sip, her subconscious has already decided it wants to be perfectly in sync with you. Next up, we have category 4, future plans and vocal shifts. Let's look at how her vocabulary and biology actually change. And this brilliantly illustrates what happens as her subconscious mind locks in. You'll actually start to hear her vocabulary shift. A woman who's just being polite, she'll keep the conversation anchored safely in the present. She'll talk about today or maybe this weekend, and she'll use the word I a lot. But a woman who wants intimacy, she projects forward. According to relationship psychologist Dr. John Gottman, couples who use we language early on show massively higher rates of long-term bonding. So she might casually drop a line like, "My friend's having a party next month, you should come," or "We definitely need to check out that new restaurant." Do you see what she's doing? She's actively weaving you into a shared narrative, sneaking you into a future that explicitly includes you. Now, this next behavioral cue is pretty much impossible to fake. When a woman is attracted to you, her vocal cords physically respond to that attraction. It's wild. A study from the University of Stirling found that women unconsciously lower the pitch of their voice when they're talking to someone they're into. It gets noticeably softer and warmer. On top of that, the Journal of Evolutionary Psychology noted an increase in vocal fry, that low, sort of creaky quality at the very end of sentences. Why? Because biologically, a lower pitch signals trust and comfort. It's quite literally evolution taking the wheel. Her voice is physically transforming to pull you in using sound alone. Finally, let's wrap this up with category 5, the power of patterns. This is where we synthesize all of these behaviors together. Okay, so understanding these individual cues is super powerful, but we have to talk about one massive caveat when it comes to human psychology. One isolated behavior, that means absolutely nothing. A woman might touch your arm just because she's a naturally huggy, affectionate person, or she might share a deep story simply because the topic came up organically. But when you start seeing 3, 4, 5 of these behaviors happening consistently with the exact same person, my friend, that is no longer a coincidence. That is a deliberate pattern. She's engineering touch, she's accelerating the intimacy timeline by getting you one-on-one. Her voice drops a register, and suddenly she's talking about plans for next season together. Patterns, they just don't lie. The real tragedy isn't even that these signals are hard to spot, it's that most people simply never learn what to look for in the first place. They spend years kicking themselves, wondering why they missed their chance. But today, you've got the playbook. You understand the hidden language. So as you go about your week, and you inevitably find yourself in a conversation with someone intriguing, I want to leave you with this one question to think about. When she hands you that silent, beautifully engineered invitation, will you recognize it?